you know that most of the country artists you know and love today got their starts in places called honky tonks? That's right. Patsy Cline, Ernest Tubb, all of them. Honky tonks are an important stop in the careers of some of the brightest country stars. And the music you'll find in honky tonks is like none other on the American landscape. Designed to get your feet tapping and your mind off your troubles, this is music you can't sit down to. Hosted by Bill Anderson, this series features tons of your favorite country music legends as they tell their favorite honky tonk stories, sing their favorite honky tonk songs, all on a collection we're calling Country's Family Reunion Honky Tonk. Come on in.
What a thrill it always is when this man comes by to join us on Country's Family Reunion, and he's been in a few honky tonks and a few other places in his time, and I'm gonna pick his brain about it. The great Roy Clark.
Thank you, Bill. Bless your hearts. Thank you. You're very kind. You know, we've been getting together like this for several years now, but it wasn't until this evening that I felt like I really had something to offer. Some of the great singers and artists here in the room this evening, I was always treated very nice, but I knew I didn't have the credentials to stand up next to some of you folks. You were always very nice. But when it came up that we were going to talk about honky tonks, that's when I said, back up. Because I was there. I started working in honky tonks when I was 16 years old in Washington, D.C. I worked with when I was 16 years old, and I had to go get a permit, from the folks who watch kids. I had to leave the stage when I did whatever. And then when the band started back up, then I went back and sang again. But I thought I was educated until I got on the road. It seems like we're honoring Texas this evening. We've already discussed about the chicken wire. At the Schrader Hall in Victoria, Texas is where I saw my first. And I said the same thing. What's all the, didn't they have any material to replace that wall? What's all the chicken wire? Then I found out. And then we went to West Texas. And some of my most beloved experiences happened in that strip of nightclubs and honky tonks. And the first night we showed up, I was with Wanda Jackson fronting her band, and we got to the club we were going to play, and we went around to the back and started taking the instruments and amplifiers in. And there was a large gentleman that came out, about 6'5" and 300 pounds. He said, "Let me help." He was the manager and the bouncer. And he started helping us stuff around. He said, now when the fight starts, he said, y'all stand up on the stage and don't try to. I said, wait a minute, you mean if a fight starts? He said, when the fight starts. Well, this guy was a professional. He was playing fiddle, and when the fight started, he just dropped his fiddle and his bow, and both of them was on like a screen from a screen door, that spring. He just dropped the fiddle and the bow. It went up and wasn't hurt. Just standing.
He had it all planned out.
I'll tell you. But it was a great thing for me. I got educated overnight. But it's an honor to be here. I wished we had more time. Was it Junior that you mentioned that the after-hours clubs?
Oh, man.
Oh, you just made time until it was time to go to the after-hours clubs.
Yeah.
They moved them every night. They were illegal, but I wasn't leading anyway. I was just hanging with the rest, and that's what I pleaded in court. Now, I apologize for my throat, but if it wasn't the throat, there'd be something else. But I am honored this evening. Bless your hearts, and let's do it again. This song has been around since birth. I've known it since the first day that I listened to music. I hope you remember. If you do, please sing along. drifting into deep water. I'm starting to care for you. You're getting me in deep water. Be careful what you do. You want a romance, but I'm seeking love. I know I'll regret it when it ends. I'm winding up in deep water. Why can't we just be friends? Restless in this deep water. I'm lost between right and wrong. My love is deep as deep water. Your love won't last as long. Where will it lead me, and where will it end? I can't help but wish I only knew. I'm winding up in deep water, so deep in love with you, so deep in love with you. Domino. Thank you. Bless your hearts. Thank you.
The great Roy Clark.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend.
Fantastic. Fantastic. You know you're among friends and people
Lord, don't I?
that love you. Yeah, you want to have a seat? I want to talk to you just a minute.
Oh, okay.
I want you to tell me something, because we started out earlier today. I was talking, and I said I'd come back to it, about a place in Kansas City. All the honky tonks ain't in Texas or Louisiana, because there was a place in Kansas City that you performed at, and I did, and Jim Ed, and I know George IV, and Jan Howard, and those of us that have been around a while. Tell me what you remember about Charlie Genova's Chestnut Inn.
That was the beginning of my career. I met Charlie Genova through Wanda Jackson, who I was the leader in her band, and we went to Kansas City, and Jim Halsey, my manager, went across the river to Kansas, and Hap Peoples had a tour going through. And Jim Halsey said, "Why don't you put this kid on, and he can add to your show?" Hap said, "We have enough." So he talked him into it. After I got on stage and they accepted me real good, that he added me to the show, $50 a day, and give me not car fare. He let me ride in a car. Well, it's been a while. And I was talking to some of the guys that we stayed at the Hill Hotel. They let me run the elevator up and down. And we got in trouble over that, but that's another story.
Well, tell me about the Chestnut Inn, because that's what you were doing in Kansas City to start with. Now, that wasn't in the best part of town.
You're reading my mind. It was not. In fact, you could go a step further. It was not desirable, but it was funny that it was a name that folks would come out. Whoever was there, they'd come out and fill the hall. And it's a wonder that we made it through. One night in particular, when Farron Young was on the show, he started picking out folks in the audience that had on dark clothes, overcoats, and never took their hat off. And Farron started talking about, it looks like the mob from Chicago. Charlie Genova came out of his office and said, shh. I'd already picked it up, but Farron kept going.
Yeah, well, Charlie, let me take it a step further. You said you worked there with Wanda Jackson.
Right.
Then
I went back on my own.
Well, did you ever perform there when you had to share the bill with a stripper?
No, sir.
I did.
I heard about it.
Wait a minute, Jan says she did.
I did.
Oh, I bet that was interesting.
It was.
We had to share the same dressing room.
Right.
You know, stripper didn't mind, you know. She's gonna take her clothes off anyway.
That's it.
I was a little nervous about it all. But it was so funny because half the crowd would come there for the music. They'd come to hear the music.
Yeah.
And then the good old boys would come in, you know, bring on the girls. You know, they did, you know, now here's Bill Anderson, sing some songs for you. And nice, you know, applause. And he goes, boo, bring on the stripper. And then when the stripper would come on, it'd be just the opposite. The old boys would be cheering, and the little ladies would be there with their heads down on the thing. But Charlie Genova, he was a kind of a little short, round fella.
Ate a lot of spaghetti.
Yes, and
It was always on his shirt.
the funniest thing I remember about him, though, in addition to us having to split the bill with the strippers, was Charlie would sit back in his office during the show, and he had an old black and white TV back there.
He did.
And I remember particularly the show in those days, the hot cop show was called The Untouchables. I hope y'all remember that Robert Stack. I walked in Charlie Genova's office. He was sitting there cheering for the bad guys.
That's right.
At the top of his voice.
Exactly. That's Charlie Genova.
But we live on memories like that. I mean, that's what's keeps
Well, I
us
wasn't
going.
about to fire the stripper. I didn't hire her. I wouldn't fire her.
That's your
I mean,
story.
You could have her if you wanted.
No, thank you very much. Jan, what was your experience there?
Well, I was booked there, and I was green as a gourd, and I didn't know, and I had lived in Kansas City. Most of my family, all but the ones in West Plains, lived in Kansas City, and on East 27th Street, which Genova's was up the street on East 27th, so most of my family, especially the guys in my family, were familiar with Charlie Genova's Chestnut Inn. And the night I was booked there, here came, you know, my sister and my brother, and they were all in the audience. And I didn't know there were strippers there. And I had to share the dressing room also. And I said, why would they have me in the strippers, you know? Well, that was the only dressing room available. So I said, okay, just don't use my toothbrush, don't use this, don't touch this. Don't want them to touch anything. But, so I went on and did my bit, and I had enough family in the audience to have a good round of applause, thank God. 'Cause then I made my exit, and the strippers came in, and I felt like I should go join them, because they were getting more applause.
You didn't get your wardrobe mixed up, did you?
I don't think so. No, I didn't get my wardrobe mixed up.
Well, if you've never had that experience, don't know that I wish it on anybody, but
No,
Bill,
me
that's just
either. It was
it's just
great.
good, clean family entertainment.
One of the things that will tell you what class of a club it was is that a big, big paper sign was over the front door. I mean, 5 feet by 6 feet. And it said Bill Anderson appearing. Then it would say April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And then June 2nd. He never changed the sign, only the dates. And the paper had yellowed. And the new date was on there very white. And you said, well, I don't know if I'll go in there or not. But we thought, well, that's cheap. Charlie is very cheap. Wouldn't let me keep the sign either.
just use the same sign over and over, change the date. So,
It's it.
Well, those are memories. I don't know if we'd want to go back and live them again or not, but that's part of it.
If I thought I could, I would.
What was the song you had? If I had to do it all over again?
I'd do it with you.
Yeah, all right. The great Roy Clark.
Bless your heart. Thank you, dear.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. You want to come back over and I'll take that from you. All right, buddy. Thank you. Tell you what, I don't know if anybody's ever had the task or unenviable position. Nobody follows Roy Clark on the stage. They've never been able to.
You're very nice.
Hey, Bill, and
Singer
you know
and
what? You've done pretty good since Charlie Genova's. And you know, think about the millions of people that you entertained.
Yeah.
And you brought country music to households that had never seen it before and became fans.
You're very kind. Thank you.
Tony Booth's making all of us look bad. He went and changed clothes. So we know you got more than one shirt.
There's not a dry armpit in the house. I don't think.
I thought in case you cut it up into 2 segments that it would look like I didn't have but one shirt. See?
We talked a whole bunch about the Palomino Club. It's in North Hollywood, California. And you were the house band leader there for how long?
About 4 or 5 years. 69 to 74, 75.
So what kind of a band did you have in there? Was it a big, like, Western swing type band?
No, I had steel, guitar, bass, and drums. Once in a while, we had a piano. Just 4 or 5 piece band.
Is the Palomino still open and still in business?
No, it's not. No. It changed once Tommy and Bill died. The kids was more into the punk rock stuff, but then I heard it was a real estate office, and now it's nothing. So I think it's raised. They raised the building.
I remember going out to North Hollywood. You'd make 2 stops. You'd go to the Palomino, and you'd go to Nudi's place down the street.
Right.
Where
Oh,
he,
yeah.
made all the costumes. Yeah, Roy.
You know who named the Palomino?
Who named the Palomino?
The first owner? Hank Penny.
Oh.
Hank Penny.
Hank Penny did.
my
I did not
goodness.
know that.
Lord, I haven't heard that name in years.
Did he have the first band in there?
Very possible, but I don't know that part.
Boy, I did not know that.
It's Gene Davis when I was out there.
Yeah, Gene
The
Davis.
Star Routers.
Yeah.
They were the house band at the club I worked at in industry called the Aces Club. Anybody remember the Aces
I've been to
Club?
Aces Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Skull Orchard boy.
Oh, I know it was while we were there.
Tony, how about another song from you?
Sure.
And I see Leon's come up and gotten
Oh,
the
yeah.
guitar again.
This song had
You
to
know, it's
be on
been
the list.
interesting listening to everybody talk about the chicken wire and stuff. And I never actually worked in one that had chicken wire, but I was in a play for a couple of years that was about a chicken ranch.
Woohoo, yeah,
I'd have to be from Texas to understand that one.
yeah.
But in the early days, though, you know, we don't have a lot of fighting, you know, in our age group. Somebody challenges your manhood, you invite him to do a spelling bee. But I remember in the early days, the steel players would only have about 2 threads on one of their legs of their steel so they could undo it and use it for a club. So I don't know if the steel players still do that or not. We did an Ernest Tubb song. We did a tribute album, the Heart of Texas Records, on this would have been Ernest's 100th birthday this year. And I did a little thing called Walking the Floor of You. And the great Leon Rhodes here with us. You left me and you went away. Said that you'd be back in just a day. You broke in your promise and you left me here alone. I don't know why you did, dear, but I do know that you're gone. I'm walking the floor over you. Can't slip away, that is true. Well, I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walking that floor over you. On picket boy. Well, darling, you know I love you well.
words can ever tell. Well, I thought that you wanted me and always would be mine. But you went and left me here with troubles on my mind. I walk in the floor over you and sleep away, that is true. Well, I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walk in that floor over you one more time. Someday you may be lonesome too. Walking that floor is good for you. But just keep right on walking and it won't hurt you to cry. Remember that I love you and I will the day I die. I walk in the floor over you and sleep away, that is true. I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walking that floor over you. I'm just walking that floor over you.
Great job, Tony. Tony Booth. Leon, how does it feel to play that song again?
I love it.
Oh, man, those signature licks. Nobody makes them sound quite like you do.
Oh, bless you.
You played them for all of those years. And, of course, you teamed up with Buddy Charlton on a lot of that. Mike Johnson did a pretty good Buddy Charlton impersonation.
Oh, yeah. I can't talk.
That's all right. Your fingers do the talking. Thank you for playing on that, man. That's terrific. Great to have the great Leon Rhodes with us today.
You know, I think one of the best joys to me of this whole show has been watching this band. Have you ever seen the band have a better time and relax? I mean, y'all are just awesome. It's fun to watch it.
Well, they've been looking forward to this for a long, long time.
Yeah, it's been a great tribute, I think, to the musicians before and the arrangements. And you guys, I mean, you had everybody's arrangements from Buck Owens to Hank Thompson. It was just great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
Love it. It's great.
Becky Hobbs, is this your first time to be with us on a family reunion?
This
well,
is
welcome.
my first time.
Glad to have you. You picked a good show to be here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You had a hit record on a song about a jukebox and I guess a honky tonk type song.
Right. In fact, I'll be doing it shortly. Yeah, it's interesting, though. Everyone's talking about how they started out in the honky tonks. I actually started out as a rocker. I started my own all-girl band when I was 15 years old in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and we were just totally wild. And our dads would drive us to gigs before we were old enough to even drive. And it wasn't until I moved out to Los Angeles. I moved out to LA to be a rock singer, and every time I opened my mouth, people would say, "You're a country singer." And I'd say, "Well, I guess I am." And I got more and more country the longer I lived in Los Angeles, and I added pedal steel to my band, and I was out there during the urban cowboy craze. And I played a place called, some of y'all have probably played the OK Corral in Lakeview Terrace. It was a wild place. A lot of the stunt people in movies would ride their horses out there and listen to us. And then I remember one night a guy was really mad because some guy's horse kicked his Mercedes. Oh. And then it was pretty wild, and even the women would fight out there. I remember one night a woman got mad at another woman and wrapped her in toilet paper and like lit it on fire. And fortunately, they put out the flames really fast, and Another night, a guy killed a rattlesnake out in the parking lot and put it on my piano stool. It was dead, but I guess he wanted to impress me. And then I also played the Palomino out there, the Ranch in Garden Grove, the Roundup in Chatsworth. And one of my favorite gigs was the Ranch in Garden Grove. The owner of the club, Rocky, hired me to sing for 30 minutes before the wet T-shirt contest every Tuesday night. And I look back on it and I think, God, I'm amazed I didn't get booed off the stage. And then I went over so well that he hired me to sing for 30 minutes every Thursday before the female mud wrestling contest. So that's when I started playing the honky tonks, was pretty much in the mid 70s and late 70s.
It's better than chicken bingo.
Did you play piano back in those days when you were playing that kind of music in those places?
Did I what?
Did you play piano?
Yes, I was. So maybe that's why, people didn't throw things at me, because I had protection there. It's funny because I started writing songs when I was 9 years old in Bartlesville, and pretty much my whole career, I've mostly done my own songs. I've done some of the standards and such, but I just sort of... Actually, one of my first chart records was Honky Tonk Saturday Night back in, I think, 1979. And that's when I was playing a lot of the Texas honky tonks. And just, I always really felt at home writing the honky tonks, though, because, nobody judged you, and, we could all share our heartbreaks and have a good time.
Did you write the song about George Jones on the jukebox?
Yeah, I co-wrote the song with the late great wild man, Mac Vickery, and Don Goodman. And the interesting thing is the three of us were not in the same room at the same time. I had a Sunday morning writing appointment with Don Goodman. He was the first big songwriter that would write with me when I first moved to Nashville 32 years ago. And he and Mac Vickery had started the song in the bar room at the Hall of Fame motel down on Division Street. They had started it, and Don Goodman, I showed up for the writing appointment, and that was the day that I got the nickname Beckaroo. He said I came bouncing in tight blue jeans and red cowboy boots, and he said, "What's happening, Beckaroo?" And then he said, "Hey, old Mac Vickery and I started this song last night," and he sang like the first two lines of the chorus. "I've got Jones on the jukebox and you on my mind," and then he started La La La, and I went to an old upright piano down on Music Row where Lobo, the songwriter, You and Me and a Dog Named Boo, he had a publishing company there. And we started working on the song. He said, "Well, I better call old Vic and see if this is okay." And he called Mac Vickery and he said, "Hey, a girl named Beckaroo and I are finishing this song that we started last night. Is that okay with you?" And he said, "Right on, rock on." So that's how we wrote the song.
Wow. How about doing it for us?
Certainly.
Becky Hobbs, Beckaroo.
And this girl
Alrighty.
is never, ever going to grow up. Doesn't she still look like she's 15?
Oh, please.
And that's a good
Thank
thing.
you.
That's a good thing.
Just takes me a little longer to look this way. Is this on? Check one. Oh, yeah. All righty, y'all ready? Y'all want to dance? There's a fool in the mirror looking back across the bar. Reflections of a woman whose world just fell apart. Now the life we built together and the golden rings are gone. And it's whiskey versus memories, and it looks like the race is on. And I've got Jones on the jukebox and you on my mind. I'm slowly going crazy, a quarter at a time. He stopped loving her today, oh, but I'm still doing time. I've got Jones on the jukebox and you on my mind. Well, the cowboys in the corner are making eyes at me.
but I just wanna be alone with your memory. Now the music's good and country, and the whiskey's feeling right. You won't be back, but George and Jack will help me through the night. And I've got Jones on the jukebox, and you on my mind. I'm slowly going crazy, a quarter at a time. He stopped loving her today, oh, but I'm still doing time. I've got Jones on the jukebox, and you on my mind. The country reunion honky tonk band. And I've got Jones on the jukebox, and you on my mind. I'm slowly going crazy, a quarter at a time. He stopped loving her today, oh, but I'm still doing time. I've got Jones on the jukebox, and you on my mind. And I've got Jones on the jukebox, and you on my mind. Thank you.
Beckaroo.
Thank y'all. All right.
Becky Hobbs, I don't know if the camera got a shot of that or not, but I mean, your left foot was going. You could have flattened a penny like a railroad car stomping that foot. Is that just come natural to you to feel the music?
I'm so used to sitting at the keys doing it, so I don't really realize I'm doing it up here. So, but I have another little funny story about that song. When Jones on the Jukebox was out, I was opening some shows for George Jones, and he and Nancy, every time I saw them backstage, they would say, "We just love the way you sing the word quarter. Say quarter for us." So I would say quarter, and they would just bust out laughing. And I still have no idea why.
Say it again.
Quarter.
Quarter. You're putting an extra R in there.
Am I? Okay.
But I like it. How did you and Mo Bandy team up to sing together?
Well, this is really a great story. My grandma Hobbs was serving donuts and coffee in Coffeyville, Kansas at my aunt and uncle's donut shop. And the guy that booked the Coffeyville Fair and Rodeo would come in there every morning and flirt with my grandma Hobbs. And he came in one morning, he said, "Well, we've got Mo Bandy singing at the fair this year, and we're looking for a girl singer to open the show." And Grandma Hobbs says, "My granddaughter sings." And that's how I got on the show, and that's how I met you.
That's right. That's right. We did the show that night at the fair, and I had a song that I'd found, and I carried it around with me for a long time, a duet with a lady. And we did the fair that night, and I told Becky, I said, I have a song, we ought to cut it. And we cut this song, and it's a big record for us.
It was, and I want to thank you for that, Mo, because
You're
this
very
was my
welcome.
first top 10 entrance into country music.
Becky was just full of energy. We did a lot of shows together, and she would brighten up the room. I mean, and I noticed she hasn't changed a bit.
Oh.
She just,
Thank you.
just like you were years ago.
Thank you.
Great.
What we got to do to get you to sing the song?
I bet we can do it. Twist my arm and we'll do it. You got it.
All right, this was written by Keith Stigall and Charlie Craig.
That's right.
I don't know if we can make it, but baby, let's give it a good try.
We're both coming off of losing, and it ain't easy telling love goodbye.
You don't look a thing like her, and I don't guess I'd measure up to him. Oh, but then maybe together we can get each other over them. Let's get over them together.
Let's get over them together. I'll help you and you help me.
I'm so glad we found each other. We both need someone to hold tonight.
So lay your head on my shoulder, and we'll go somewhere that's out of sight.
Before this night is over, who knows? The losers might win and smile again. Maybe together we can get each other over them.
Let's get over them together
and burn two old memories.
Let's get over them together. I'll help you and you help me. Let's get over them together. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great job. Becky Hobbs and Mo Bandy. Is it Becky and Mo or Mo and Becky?
Mo and Becky.
Either way. Either way.
Y'all
Am
need
I
to put
on?
that out again. Put that out.
Are you on? Yeah, you're on.
I'm on?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I meant to say, we didn't bring up one of my favorite places, Rosie's Roadhouse and Transmission Shop. Good place. I mean, you could actually go get a new transmission and go dancing while they worked on your rear end. It was unbelievable, that place. But I thought I'd bring it up while we're talking about Honky Tonk music. I've lost it today.
Yes.
You don't even have Gene Watson here today to be your straight man. You're
I know.
doing
Gene's
comedy all
out
by
there. I'm
yourself.
lost without him. My timing's off without Gene. Thank you. Oh, get the hook. What a pleasure and a thrill to be around these folks. What an honor. And I've heard so many great stories, and the talent in this room is unbelievable. Thank you so much for having me to be with us.
You're a big part of it, Mo Bandy. Thank you, buddy. I've always known Mo Bandy was a great singer and a good guy. I never realized how funny. He is one of the funniest people I've ever been around.
I know it. On the last cruise, I had the pleasure or the misfortune, one, of sitting between him and Gene Watson. And I said, the next one, I'm wearing a referee shirt. That's all there is to it. Get me a whistle. They are a riot.
I guess first time the country music world really heard of Billy Yates was when he wrote a song called Choices, which was a big hit song for Jones on the Jukebox.
Well, you know, George, first of all, he recorded 6 of my songs. And it started with I Don't Need Your Rocking Chair back in 1992.
Oh, okay.
And that was such a blessing. And another blessing, obviously, just being here. And I'm such a fan, you know, and I sit here in a room with these guys, and I'm just, it's like I won the lottery when I got called to come and do this show. So.
Well, if you want, let's have some.
I'm sorry. So the rocking chair was before Choices.
That was in '92, yes.
Oh, and Choices was
around 2000.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I slept through some of those years, I guess.
Well, I did too. You know.
Did he record all
Well, man,
of them
you've
at
written
once,
some.
Were they
You've
all on the
written
same
some
album?
great country songs.
No, the very first song I ever had recorded was I Don't Need Your Rocking Chair. Wow. And thanks to great writers like...
In your career?
In my whole career, yeah, as a songwriter. Wow. That was the very first one. And I'm so grateful, you know, Frank Dykes and Carrie Kirk Phillips, you know, especially Frank took me in under his wing and started trying to teach me how to write songs. And that was one of the very first songs that we ever wrote. you know. I know, Jim, you wrote a lot with Dykus, and we lost Dykus a while back. But, you know, I think about the aspiring songwriters that come to town, and it's really great when these older established writers, you know, take someone under their wing. And you've done that many times, Bill, you know, and it's wonderful. And it's such a blessing for me because it opened so many doors at that point. And it also gave me a confidence that I didn't have prior to that, you know.
But you were not an overnight success. When I first met you, you were barbering, cutting hair. And
I cut hair
I think
on
one or
Music
two
Row.
times you went back to Missouri, didn't you? And
No, you know, I made trips for about 5 years before I actually made the move. I moved to Nashville here in '87, and but I started cutting hair on Music Row at a place called the Hair Pavilion.
Yep.
And yeah, I remember meeting
Yes,
you there, and probably a lot of y'all. But it was, in fact, my dad was a barber for 40 years in Missouri, and so I grew up in that barber shop. And when I got out of school, I was wanting to do music, and I'd been doing music with my family for a lot of years. We had a little radio show, you know, growing up, and so it just seemed like the right thing to do to go get a trade of some sort so I could support myself and my family when I started doing music. And so it worked out fine. I met you in that place, you know, and in fact, I actually probably met you for the first time when I did You Can Be a Star. You were on You Can Be a Star.
Wow.
And
Jim Ed
Can
was
I
the
ask a
host.
question?
Jim Ed was a host, exactly. Yes.
Do you remember the George Jones video, the Honky Tonk song?
Absolutely, I was
And
there.
I
You
met
were-
you that
yeah,
day.
That's
Yeah,
exactly right.
okay. I
Yeah,
was
Honky
in that,
Tonk
yeah.
song was a song that I wrote.
Good song,
That we did a great video, and you were fabulous in it.
I was the sheriff.
That's right.
for the fans that are watching, you do something here in Nashville every year at what we used to call Fanfare. It's now the CMA Music Fest. You host a traditional country music show, a night of traditional country music. You bring people in. I know the one or two times that I've done it with you, there have been so many people there from overseas. You get a tremendous international audience that comes to your show. And I think you were telling me last year was the biggest one that you've ever done. You did it at the Wild Horse Saloon.
Yeah, we do it on the Tuesday night of Fanfare, CMA Music Fest, and it's a fundraiser for Christmas for the children. But it sort of started as a project that would give people that come to town some real country music. You know, so many people would come in and there wasn't much country music to be found. And you'd hear complaints, you know, especially people from Europe would come over and say, well, there's no country music, you know. And so we started doing that show, and it just, you know, it kind of caught on. And we were raising money for a great cause, you know, and so we've donated just tens of thousands of, I don't know how much money we've raised for these kids. And but it also brings some great country music to town, you know, for that week, and it gives people something to look forward to. And a lot of people just come in for that show.
So you're going to continue to do
We'll
it year
continue to do it. It's
after
called
year?
The Countryest of the Country.
Okay, how can people find out about it? or get
You
tickets
go to
to
my
it?
website. You know, as we get closer to the event, you know, I just put a lot of stuff up there, and you can go and order tickets through Ticketmaster and that kind of thing. We'll have.
Let's hear Billy
lots of
Yates
people
sing a
there.
good country song.
Come on.
Because he can do it. Have you ever been on one of the
Yeah.
shows that he
I
does?
have.
Yes, she has.
Billy has asked me to do the show. And wasn't it for Billy Yates when you and Jim Ed and I did a thing together? The three?
Yeah, we always do a songwriter segment in the show.
yeah.
So we have a lot of artists. We have like a little house band and that kind of thing, but we have a songwriter segment. And so one year, had the three of you guys up there and had some kind of an informal little get-together up there and told some stories and laughed and had a big
Turned
time. And that's
into-
always like one of the most, you know, everybody says that's a favorite part of the show is the songwriter part. And, so we'll get Lauderdale up there next time. All of y'all come do it.
Well, I'm coming back.
Yes, you are.
I'm just telling you.
My gosh.
It was too fun.
Hey, let's sing some Merle Haggard music. How about it?
Okay.
We'll chase each other around the room.
Let's chase each other around the room tonight. Let's play the games we played on our wedding night. To lock and bolt the door is only right. Let's chase each other around the room tonight. Seems like lately people love to play with fire, and the other games they play are just as bad. I'd rather stay at home and feel your burning lips. Play the kind of games that make me glad. Oh, let's chase each other around the room tonight. Let's play the kind of games we play on our wedding night. To lock and bolt the door is only right. Well, let's chase each other around the room tonight. Oh, yeah. Let's don't chase around and make each other weary. Let's keep all our love at home and out of sight. Let's leave everything like jealousy behind us. Honey, let's chase each other around the room tonight. Oh, let's chase each other around the room tonight. Let's play the games we played on our wedding night. To lock and bolt the door is only right. Let's chase each other around the room tonight.
Back there. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Billy Yates. Great job, Billy.
Thank you.
It's about the third Merle Haggard song
This
that's
is
been done
Haggard's
today.
night.
Yeah, well, he makes that kind
I
of
think
music.
it's, such a
Honky
great
tonk music.
writer himself.
Oh, Billy's a great writer,
And then to
yes.
choose to honor somebody else's song. I think that's what.
Did Merle write that, Billy?
Merle, yeah, there were two other writers on that too, but I'm not real sure. I saw that and I didn't know them.
Maybe Freddie Powers.
I think so.
probably,
I think
yeah.
it's exactly right. That is right. That is right.
David Ball, you're
Yes,
going to
sir.
sing one of the songs that we could not do a honky tonk show without.
Yeah.
There's a handful of songs on this show today that, I mean, just are definitive honky tonk songs, and this is definitely one of them.
Peeping through the knothole in Grandma's wooden leg, I believe.
Oh, that
was
makes
the
me
other.
cry.
You got to do that one. It's one of my favorites. Is this legal?
Is this a song? This is such a natural song for you, and especially after we heard you do the, or we heard you do the thinking problem song, where you go
Problem.
up, you kind of go up real high. This just sounds like a natural
It's the
song
opposite.
for you.
Yeah, I tell you. There stands the glass.
Yeah, baby.
I was a big, huge Webb Pierce fan. I loved his songs and the way those records sounded. So, do y'all know there stands the glass and okay. About where we at? There stands the glass, filling up to the brim. Till my troubles grow dim. It's my first one today. There stands the glass that will ease all my pain, that will settle my brain. Brother, I'm on my way. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder if you are all right. rattle my brain. It's my first one today. Troubles grow dim. It's my first one today. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. It's hard to sing in front of this crowd there.
I am so glad that you sang a Webb Pierce song and said what you did.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we hear the line in the, I think it was the Merle Haggard song about 1951, Hank and Lefty crowded every jukebox. Webb Pierce was on those jukeboxes too, and he made a lot of great honky tonk records.
Great songs, all those songs.
Honky Tonk, yeah.
And one of the first people to ever use a pedal steel guitar.
That's right,
On
slowly.
a record. Yeah.
Bud Isaacs.
Bud Isaacs.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
That's great, David. Thank you.
Wow. Webb had that. Didn't Webb have the guitar-shaped swimming pool?
Yes.
Yeah.
I always heard that. Is it still there?
Yeah.
It's still there.
Really? Can you go see it?
Well, yeah.
Webb was nothing if not colorful. He had the car that's still on display, I think, down at the Hall of Fame. You know, the one that Nudie did for him with all the silver dollars and the guns and the horns and all those different
You know,
things.
my husband was Webb's lawyer.
That must have been a lot of fun.
He's got a lot of stories to tell. But he was mentioning the other day, was talking to somebody who had been down at the Hall of Fame and saw the car, and he said, I could have bought that car one time for $2,500. And they said, whoa, why didn't you buy it? And he said, I didn't have $2,500 then.
Wow. Thought went through my head about, I was at the Hall of Fame one time, and there were two ladies going through on tour, and they came up on Webb's car, and one of them said, oh, look, there's Elvis's car. And the other one said, no, that's not it. And they got in, a serious argument, almost like one of these fights we've been talking about, over whether that was Elvis's car. Big sign there said Webb Pierce's car.
Yeah.
But this one lady swore up and down it belonged to Elvis.
Well, it was like, I maybe have told this story before, but it just reminded me when Jack and I were traveling together, and I think it was Buck Trent said one time, the show starts when the bus pulls up. And we were sitting in there, and Jack it was old Silver Eagle, and of course it was painted green, and on the manufacturer thing said Silver Eagle, but in the little glass part, Jack had Green Eagle. So these two old guys were walking around chewing that tobacco, and kicking the tires and looking it all over. And one of them said, yep, there's one of them Silver Eagles. The other one said, no, it ain't. It's a Green Eagle. He said, no, it says right here it's a Silver Eagle. And walked around and looked, and he said, well, over here it says it's a Green Eagle. And the other ones, they just stood there and looked for a minute. One of them said, well, I don't know what it is, but you'd think as much money as Jack Green makes, he could drive a Cadillac. Show starts with the bus.
That's a good line. Any more honky-tonk stories we haven't told?
I have a bit of trivia.
All right.
Nudie had a car like that. I think
Yeah.
there were two
Nudie
made.
made those cars.
He made those
Yeah.
cars, and I seen Nudie out there at the DJ some sort of a benefit, and he was driving that. So.
Yeah, they used to drive them out to a lot of things where they were trying to attract people, the opening of a shopping center or something.
Yeah.
And both Webb and Nudie both, I think.
Had the pistols for the door handles and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, let me tell you a story, if I may. You know, if you go to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle.
In the band.
Well,
Tell Ernest Tubb that.
well, me too, I guess. But anyway, I had two ladies with me, the Yates sisters. And one of them was a doctor in music, and the other one had a master in music, and they were great violinists, fiddlers, whatever you want to call them. So we're going to Texas. Now, I know that nearly everybody here has played the Lakeview Club out of Bryan, Texas. Well, we got there, and we started playing, and they didn't bring their fiddles out for a while until after I did my thing, and I walked off stage and let them, do their thing. Well, I walked off stage and went into the manager's office there, and we were talking, and all of a sudden, the biggest row you ever heard. And this man come running through the door, and he said, "You better get out here, we got a riot." Well, he walks out there, and what has happened is the girls picked up their fiddle and went into the went into the Faded Love, is what it was. And them cowboy hats, everybody in Texas wears cowboy hats. And them cowboy hats they were just sailing. And it just scared the girls to death. Well, all it was them cowboys just loved them fiddles.
Yep.
And it made me say, okay, if I go back to Texas, I'll darn sure have a fiddle. But the girls quit me after that. That scared them. They was at the back. They were in the back of the stage, scared to death. And Buck. Anyway, the band was said. They said, "Jimmy, we don't know what to do." I said, "Well, play something. That's all they want. But they finally figured out that what all the ruckus was about was the fact that there was two fiddles there, and they knew what they were doing.
And they
But
were
whenever
pretty
you go
good
to
looking
Texas,
doing it, too.
I found out when you go to Texas, have a fiddle. He's a prime example of that.
I played a club in Albuquerque called the Hitching Post, and the old boy that run that club would not have a fiddle in the band because he said that the sound of a fiddle all night made them cowboys want to fight.
If it's out of
And
tune.
I don't know if that's true, but there was a fight every night. If you didn't show up in Western clothes, they had a back door that they went through the liquor room, and he took you out the back door to keep you from getting beat up because they'd wait for you in the parking lot,
They needed to tune that fiddle.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
If it's out
That's
of tune,
what
it
it
makes
was.
me want to
Yeah, it was so out of tune that the steel guitar player noticed. But that wasn't these guys. They...
Junior, did I hear you say that Ernest Tubb didn't have a fiddle?
Well, occasionally he used one on the records, and he had one.
Well, Leon Bollinger played with him for quite a while.
little while,
Played
and that
fiddle,
was about it. Leon, I think that was about it. I never knew of another one that he had, and he didn't have them very long, I don't think. So, that thing about you can play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle. I always thought, well, I don't think E.T. would concur with that, even though he liked fiddles,
Wade Hayes, you've sat over there and listened to all this foolishness all day.
That's
and
right.
I haven't really jumped in here. You're an Oklahoma boy, and I know you must have grown up around a lot of honky tonk music.
I certainly did. I started playing honky tonks when I was 14 years old. And yeah, it's true. And I had the people that owned the club was called Charlie's Palace outside of my little bitty hometown in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And I had a notarized letter said that they were my legal guardians. So I could go in and play 4 nights a week at this honky tonk. And I certainly saw some things that a 14, 15-year-older should not have probably seen. But on the other side, I was tickled to hear how much I had in common with so many people here, because every Sunday my mama had me in the Lakeview Church of Christ, rubbing the sleep out of my eyes. And so it was a pretty good way to grow up.
Well, when you came to Nashville and were making records, and you made several hit records,
Yeah.
they weren't really traditional country. Was that because you figured you couldn't get that on the radio?
Well, no, those records were honky tonk music. They were songs that I had written with my friend Chick Raines, and they were more or less real life stories, and things that I was going through or had gone through or was thinking. And like I said, I grew up playing in honky tonks, and people wanted to dance, and a lot of times in Texas, they don't clap for you. But if they're dancing and not throwing things, then you're doing a pretty good job.
You've had a recent bout with cancer.
Yes, I have.
some rough times that
I
you've
have.
been through.
I've
You
had
look
about.
wonderful. Is everything okay now?
I am 100% cancer-free right now. I've had it. Thank you. I've been through it twice now, and when I was diagnosed, I was given about a 12% chance of surviving, and I was stage 4. And I was making arrangements, updated my will and all that business, and God has made it painfully clear that He's the only reason that I'm still here, and I will tell anybody that. So,
You're a young man to have gone through that. How old are you?
Too young. I was 42 at the time, and the doctor said that I had had cancer for years before I even knew it, and it was almost too late. You're not even supposed to get screened for colon cancer until you're 50 years old, and I had had it for years and didn't know it. So. Yeah.
Well, God bless you, my friend.
He has.
Yes, He has.
He has. He has. The past few days, I've gotten to hang out with some pretty cool people and listen to some wonderful music.
I think we need to add a Wade Hayes song before
I would
we
love it.
leave the honky tonk here. I think it's only fitting. The first song on the show was Bright Lights and Country Music. He's going to sing Dim Lights, Thick Smoke, and Loud Music.
I got hung up there. This was one of my favorite songs, and I can remember doing this with my dad. I played lead guitar for my pop for years and years, and that's actually what I moved to Nashville to do, was to be a guitar player, and I wanted to be a Don Rich to somebody. I wanted to be Don Rich. I loved him. And I don't know how it happened, but I wrote a couple of songs that turned out to be #1 songs and got a record deal, and everything turned out completely opposite of what I had envisioned. But I thank God that it did, because I've been having a pretty good time, and I'm very, very fortunate. I've gotten so much more than I ever deserved. So I want to do some honky tonk music right now. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud music. You'll never make a wife to a home-loving man. A home and little children make nothing to you. A house filled with love and a husband so true. You'd rather have a drink with the first guy you see, and the only home you know is the beer joint down the street. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud music is the only kind of life that you'll never understand. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud music. You'll never make a wife to a home-loving man. Just drinking and dancing to a honky tonk band is the only kind of life that you'll never understand. So go on and have your fun. You think you played it smart, but I'm sorry for you, girl, and your honky tonk heart. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud music
is the only kind of life that you'll never understand. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud, loud music. You'll never make a wife to own loving man. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud, loud music is the only kind of life that you'll never understand. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud, loud music. You'll never make a wife to love a man. You'll never make a wife to love a man. Thank you.
That does it right there.
Yes, sir.
If it don't go anywhere beyond that, that's good enough. Dim lights, thick smoke. Did you notice everybody in this room singing?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the quintessential honky tonk tune. Huh?
Absolutely. This whole day has just been marvelous. You guys and gals have just contributed so much and so much wonderful music. The band and so many wonderful stories. Jim Ed, you're waving your hand.
I want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
You know, every song that they played that has been played today, everybody knows it, and everybody else has had. We've had 7 hours of country music.
Amen.
And all of us have been singing.
You're right, and I guarantee you that our fans and friends that are watching this are doing the same thing. They're sitting in front of their TVs or their DVRs, whatever they're watching this on, RFD, and they're singing too because they tell us all we don't hear this kind of music unless we're watching Country's Family Reunion. Yeah, Jan?
The writers of that song are two of the original honky tonk singers, Joe Maphis and Rosalie Maphis.
Yes. Wasn't that song originally a waltz in its...
I don't know. I've always heard it.
Well, maybe not.
Like this.
Daryl
probably
knows. It was a bluegrass song.
Yes, Daryl knows.
Lester and Earl
Stop
did.
him on a waltz.
They didn't. Lester and Earl did it first. Was it a waltz when they did it?
You can't stop him on a waltz.
I'm the waltz expert.
That's right. do a little bit of the dim lights waltz.
I'll tell you what, if you want to hear a good waltz, come to Brady, Texas.
You bet.
We're fixing to go out of there. Tracy Pitcock is our boy with Heart of Texas Records.
Yeah.
And we're heading out of there this afternoon. I got to get home. I got to get in my mechanic mode when I get to the house. I got to put a rear end in my recliner.
I think I know whose rear end this is going to be, too. Hey, for everybody, thank you so much. Little theme song, boys. We've had a wonderful time at Country's Family Honky Tonk Reunion. We'll see you next time.